When did my beard start getting so white? It's Christmas Day. We've made it through 24 Santas, and today I'm bringing you the 25th, someone we absolutely have to include, even though I really can't find that much information on him.
Aren't you the sturdy little fellow? Ho, 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 ho.
Santa?
And smart, too. Great bouncing iceberg.
Now, I'm sure it'll stop as soon as he grows up, Santa.
Well, let's hope so if he wants to make the sleigh team someday.
Like I say, I can't find a lot of information on Stan Francis. What I can piece together is this. Francis was a former BBC radio personality who immigrated to Canada, specifically Toronto, and began working on Canadian radio. Some of his radio credits include Professor's Hideaway and hosting duties on the World War II-era radio game show Share the Wealth. He began appearing on television in 1957's Hawkeye and the Last of the Mohicans, where he played, among other roles, Benjamin Franklin. Most of his television credits were, in fact, aired in 1957. Encounter, On Camera, The Adventures of Tugboat Annie. 1957 was a very busy year for the character actor. Then his next television appearance after 1957 is a single episode of Heritage in 1960. And his only other animation voice acting credit is as Geppetto in the 130-episode series The New Adventures of Pinocchio, which ran from 1960 to 1961. In 1964, he provided the voices of Santa Claus and King Moonracer in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that's it. That's all that I've been able to piece together at this time. But it does allow me to show you a little bit of Rudolph Santa acting in the flesh. Here he is as Benjamin Franklin from Hawkeye and the Last of the Mohicans.
A little something I invented, Hawkeye. And now I can peruse that letter you mentioned to me without having the words dance in front of me.
You'll have to wait till I find it.
Well, from the way you spoke, I assumed you had it on your person.
No, but I know where it's hidden.
Then get it, man.
Now, what can I possibly say about Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? The special was directed by Larry Romer and written by Romeo Muller. Romer, born in 1917, debuted as a director in 1953's The Igor Cassini Show. And in addition to Rudolph, he directed 1964's Return to Oz and 1966's The Ballad of Smokey the Bear. Screenwriter Muller was born in New York City in 1928 and was a fixture at Rankin Bass, not only writing this special, but also writing, well, most of the Rankin Bass specials that you remember, including Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Jack Frost, The Hobbit, and even an episode of Thundercats. While he didn't write everything the studio produced, if it's a Rankin Bass television special, there's a better than even chance that Romeo Muller was involved in the screenplay somewhere along the way. The production was sponsored by General Electric, who also used the tall elf with glasses who appears in the background of some of the scenes as a mascot in their commercials for a few years after. While it was thought to be groundbreaking and revolutionary with its use of the Japanese-filmed animagic stop motion, Rankin Bass had previously used the same technique for a Canadian television series. You probably guessed it, that would be The New Adventures of Pinocchio, which also featured Stan Francis as Geppetto.
Papa, you haven't touched a morsel. I'll have to take this suit in. Eat.
I'm busy, Mama. It's almost Christmas.
Who ever heard of a skinny Santa? Eat. Eat.
I don't know about you, but Stan Francis's Santa is one of the first that I can remember seeing on television. And it's an interesting Santa to be someone's first, since for most of the special, he's really not very Santa-like. Mrs. Claus complains that he's getting too skinny. He's a little too ready to write off Rudolph because of his glowing nose. And he's got a lot more in common with a harried businessman than our typical image of Santa. Jolly songs aside, he's actually a bit of a jerk at times in this special. But then that can be said about many people. This is a Santa who gets a little cranky around the holidays, but he's still a loving person, and he's still a person who can find magic in his heart to celebrate the time of year. And ultimately, he's there because he wants to make people happy and help them to celebrate. And I feel like Stan Francis's voice does a really good job of capturing both of those elements of Santa Claus. He's believable both as the business-like, we have to meet deadlines, I'm under a lot of stress version of Santa Claus. And at the same time, he really does sell the jolliness and the happiness and the love of the Santa Claus who is about to go out on his ride to deliver toys.
Ho, 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 ho! Ho, 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 ho,
Eat now.
ho,
Later. Let me check. Turn.
Oh, Mama.
Now shake when you laugh.
Ho, ho, ho. Oh, ho, oh, ho, 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 ho,
Now,
ho, ho,
that's
ho,
my Santa.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
Most of us remember the scene at the end of the special where Santa drops off the toys from the island of misfits, but that scene wasn't actually part of the original broadcast. It was filmed later and added for future repeats because when the special originally aired, children wrote in to NBC to complain, saying that nobody ever even mentioned the misfit toys once Rudolph and his friends had left the island, even though they had promised to ask Santa for help. So GE and NBC asked for something to be done to respond to those children's concerns. Thank you so much for tuning in for the Santa Advent Calendar this year. This has been a great time. It's been so much fun. I think I'm going to do this next year too, although next year, I think what I'm going to do is I am going to dive into an advent calendar of Ebenezer Scrooges. Ebenezer's Scrooge. Ebenezer's Scrooges. I don't know exactly what the style guide says on that sort of thing. But that's currently my plan for next year, and of course you will want to be around for that. So we have a comment section that's open. We have like and subscribe buttons so you can hang out. There's a bell to ring in order to get notifications every time there's a new video. And until next time, I am... Why? I'm Santa Claus! Oh, I hope you've all had a Merry Christmas. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Wonderful. And so, having repeated the names of the 25 Santas, our host had unwittingly invoked a magic as old as time itself. A deep magic, a holiday magic. For when you name the 25 Santas, it is your destiny to become the 26th Santa.